same reason why we all remember Charlie. It's Candy Mountain, Charlie.
The unicorn?
Candy Mountain. Yeah. He's like, oh, they took my fucking kidney. No?
No, I remember that.
You don't remember that?
I remember that.
Well, do you remember the beginning of episode 8 of the Caster's Couch podcast? No, wait, what is Rez doing?
Raz, listen to phone.
What are you listening to, Rez?
Wait, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, sick. Okay.
We're live.
This is going to be a Patreon exclusive. I remember to say it with a long A this time, and Raz forgot to turn off his phone.
Okay, we can. It's the Kerpal video from 20. Oh, it's actually from 2009.
Okay, actually though, let's just jump in on this. Oh yeah, we've got GoldenBoy here, but more importantly, prank calls.
No. Come on, let's bring it up. Bring it in for GoldenBoy. Let's go.
Huge.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And he came back here from Brazil like yesterday. No,
What
not
the
from Brazil.
hell?
Texas, but
Texas.
I
Same
was in
thing.
Texas for a week, and then Brazil for like 2.5, and then Arizona before that. So it was like ping ponging.
Do you even like live here?
You know, funny thing today, when I got back, which might as well have been today with the way my brain works, was the first time I exited my Uber and I felt like I was home.
Oh my
that's
god.
awesome. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I always struggle with that because I lived in Brooklyn for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I would say about 4 of those years, I was barely there. So that was like really just my wife's home with my family, and everyone would come over. Not to say that like it wasn't my home, but it was just like you're on the road so much that it just didn't really register that I was like at home. It was more like the holding space before I have to hop on an airplane to another hotel. And but you know, today was like the first time where I was like, yeah, I'm home.
You felt that familiarity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
felt good.
That's
Felt
the
good.
one thing I hate about just events in general is you're in a constant state of traveling.
Yeah.
And I'm fine being at a place, being at a location, maybe not for like longer than 2 weeks, because then you have to go through the laundry, and there's a lot of stuff that I hate.
Yeah.
But like the process of traveling, I hate. So I can't even imagine that. I will just be.
I like traveling tech, which
Yeah.
is really funny. I enjoy looking at everyday carry videos and then finding cool little pieces of tech that I could take and then use for like my traveling, you know, like ventures wherever I go. So like I have this like awesome little card thing that has all of the attachments for different types of plugs, whether it's USB-C, USB-A. I can also like iPhone, like all these like little.
Yeah,
What the hell?
A universal charger.
Yeah. But it's not a it's like a cable kit. And it also
yours is a cable.
Yeah. And it also doubles as like a phone stand too.
What
so
the
it has like
the
all
hell?
I have it in my bag. It's really helpful. And like all those little things, I just love like searching and looking all that. Also just probably because
You're actually just the travel wizard. That's insane.
yeah.
The Magi.
GB, how old are you?
Oh man, really?
Why are you dropping that on him?
As a 36-year-old man, that was very appealing to
I'm
me.
35.
There it is.
35. That's,
boy.
So you were talking that shit. I was
We
like,
all
baby.
just say our ages as we go down the line.
no,
Ovilee's
we
like
did that enough
17.
on TV. Ovilee.
Okay, repeat that again, and then ask yourself: would you be sitting on the caster's couch with a 17-year-old girl?
I'm sitting here with Raz.
That's true. They
The
are
next
on
best
side.
thing.
Raz is 45.
The next what? My ass is 30, thank you.
That sounds like a Yowie I'd watch.
Patreon exclusive.
I'm here for like
Subscribe now.
I'm here for like 30 minutes and you're already talking about Yowie.
She does not stop. She
It's
actually can't
nuts.
control
I thought it was
herself.
over. I thought my Yowie days were behind me.
You thought you got away, man, but you
But
can't
no,
get out.
no.
Sound
Every
like
time
my-
you get out, they pull you back in.
Sound like my parents or something, like, oh, it's a phase, it'll pass. And then meanwhile, I've got like just shelves filled
Yeah.
with figures.
I see it.
What I was gonna say though, like I actually do love traveling for work because you get to go to so many different places. The only thing that makes traveling hard for me is that little guy who's like on the sleep.
Yeah.
True.
Hi,
On the
Coyote
floor.
Boy.
But the thing is, like, I feel like something that maybe we have that maybe they haven't done a lot is when you fly, do you fly business or at least like premium?
Oh, we're poor now.
Oh, I see
We're
this.
poor now.
Oh, yeah,
is
we
what
broke
you're
as fuck.
saying.
Will I be judged
No.
for how I answer?
Say your part because I'll go into this. Say your
About to
part.
be pissed
So-
off.
I'm already.
I want to preface this by just saying that I have been working in esports for over 10 years now.
Okay.
And I've worked a lot of, big shows and stuff. So on occasion, I will more often than not have premium, economy, or first class.
Oh, hell no.
Skipped business.
He is the wutface.
Yeah.
To be
First
fair.
class business, premium. It just depends. Or I will pay for it myself. Like I did this last trip to Brazil. I got to the airport, punched in the button, saw it, and it was like $800 upgrade for business class. And I was like, that's doable. Boop. And I just that was the fastest upgrade I ever did. And then I realized I just spent $800. but it was also it was just the I needed it because my mental was just boomed. I was like, I just kind of need a place where I could just sleep.
Yes.
And also, I had flown, and this is the part that really sucks. So I had flown from LA, landed in Houston. They're like, hey, for anyone going to Sao Paulo, unfortunate news. They're saying this really cheery way. They're like, unfortunate news, but your flight's been canceled. Yeah, so you're just gonna have to figure it out with the hoteler. And I was like,
Bro.
what? So
What?
I go and yeah, so the 1 day of break that I was supposed to get in Brazil didn't happen. So I literally landed, went straight to pre-tapes, did work, prepped, did all the stuff, then jet lag, went to sleep, woke up at 9 in the morning, had another meeting, hopped in a train or hopped in a bus, went to the venue, worked
Oh, I'd be
until
mad as
10.
hell.
And then,
That's
I
the
mean,
shit.
that's just the gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day.
So the thing that always stops me from paying for something like a first class upgrade or anything like that, I have what I call the Four Loko test. Because back when I was in college,
The Four Loko test.
the Four Loko test, sir.
Okay.
Back when I was in college, I was poor as shit. Didn't
Yeah.
have no money. And so I drank a lot of Four Lokos. For those of y'all that don't know, Four
That explains a
Loko.
lot.
Yup.
Really explains a lot.
Four Loko was a drink that was 24 fluid ounces of liquid product that was 12% alcohol by volume. Remember, the light beer is 4.5% on average. So it's about 5.5 to 6 beers with Goring, taurine, guarana, and ginseng and caffeine. Like all those things together. Eventually, a study got done. They killed people. So they took the caffeine out. And so, they had to water them down a little bit.
Unfortunately, some people died.
Yeah, unfortunately,
What a
some shit
shame.
happened. Anyway,
That's a risk
I'm
I
still
really
here.
could
these
take.
motherfuckers, for
Work for me.
6 drinks worth of alcohol and enough caffeine to get you through an entire day of studying for your college exams, were $2 each. So I drank these suckers like water back in college. And so,
water probably would have been just as cheap though.
Yeah.
well, it
It's
wouldn't
good.
have got me through them tests.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
May
what
have
I
lost a few
did,
brain cells on that.
so what I did is every time I had a large expense coming towards me that
Yeah.
that would have been optional, I always asked myself, I said, okay, how many Four Lokos is that?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so for
I can
$800,
I can agree with that.
for $800, I was like, and so this is actually something this was my very first instance of consumer-based protest that I was like, vote with your wallet. There was initially back in Ohio in the early 2010s when I was in college, Four Lokos cost $1.99. And for one of them fucking days, for some reason, they all of a sudden decided they should be $2.49.
Oh, son of a
And you know what I did?
Read.
I didn't purchase another Four Loko can.
corporate
They're
greed.
fucking
I
That's it.
only bought the knockoff brand. I don't even remember what the name was, but the art on the can was a horse in neon collars. We called it neon horse piss. And so me and the boys only drank neon horse piss for the next 2.5 years. And you know what? We got drunk and we got happy because of it. But every single day I would still ask myself, I said, hey, how many Four Lokos is this?
This is
If there
the
was a thing-
most Ohio mentality.
If I had to pay for some shit,
Ohio brain.
and I'm like, okay, if that's $200 and I'm paying $2 a piece for these drinks, that's 100 of these. I'm drinking 2 a night. That's 50 nights. I'm drinking 4 nights a week. That's 12 and a half weeks. That's 3 months. I'm getting through a quarter of a year, or I'm paying for this. Come on.
Oh, Okay.
I will say that shit, by the way, I tried it. I remember that. That tastes like battery acid. Like that.
Yeah,
was
no.
like
I have a
shit.
video on my phone.
Yes.
Patreon content.
Yes.
Patreon content. Raz's
Yes.
reaction to Four Loko.
He does
He
have that.
almost like got mad at me. It
That
was
happening. It did not taste good.
was not good.
So I understand though what you're saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, no,
I was just
yeah, yeah.
saying I totally get it because I grew up like really poor.
Okay.
In the Bronx, and you know my mother was on welfare, and we single mom raising 2 sons, went to college, like did everything she possibly could for
Yeah.
us, right? So it was real hard, and it's hard for me to do that. But you kind of hit a point with air travel where if you have the means, and this is how they get you, those sons of bitches.
those
It is.
motherfuckers. Yeah.
Like, if you have the means at that moment to do it, you're like, well, I could sit in an aisle seat next to God knows what for a really long time.
The man with the smelly feet that don't want to wear his shoes or some shit.
Or I could just have a bed, and having a bed is very nice.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. It's hard for me to do that. I don't buy myself anything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem where this, relates to.
Yeah.
So I don't buy myself things. And instead, like, look, this hat was given to me. I bought this at Amazon for like $15. This was given to me as well. These socks were given to me. I can't buy things. So I take my money and I put it toward those things that will give me some kind of sanity during a gig.
Hey, I can respect that shit. Like, as somebody who has, especially like a difficult time sleeping on planes because I'm very tall,
Yeah.
and so you can't like the lean back thing doesn't work.
Yeah.
I can respect that. Looking at it as like it's a fuck you missile aimed at stuff that you previously couldn't do anything about, and now you can do something about it. So fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a good flight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was mainly trying to point out the fact that I don't know about you, but most of my gigs pay for my flights and stuff. So I'm only going to do business class flights if it's an international flight.
Yeah.
Nice flex.
What
the
are we
fuck was
doing?
that?
What are we
What is
doing?
That's
going
what I'm
on
saying.
here?
That's what I'm saying. Riot won't pay for
Yeah.
business flights for you guys.
We're riding poor. I will say, very similar to you. Grew up just like pure hand-me-downs. It was actually 4 or something years ago where I was just like, I still have hand-me-downs in my goddamn closet. This shit needs to go.
Yep.
So I literally forced myself to just like pay for actual clothes that I feel like will look good on me and that I liked and actually treat myself. That was just.
But it was hard.
It was hard. It was like
It was hard because
rewiring
it's
your
like
brain.
you're not used to spending money on yourself.
Exactly.
We were just trained, I mean, we all were trained.
Yeah.
Even like the
To
shit that
just
I'm wearing
save.
now
Yeah.
is cheap as fuck. All of these $5. In fact, this is wearing off right now. So like,
It's not even gonna make the show. It's gonna fall
We're gonna
apart.
edit that out.
So that shit happens. Meanwhile, there was one time where I paid for my own, like, it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
For it was like business class. That shit was expensive, but it felt good. But I don't do that generally because I can sleep through anything. Like my brain, I'm drinking coffee right now. I can sleep in like 10 minutes. It does not matter. There are multiple times I had like 3 babies crying in a row. Every time I was taking a flight, oh, that's another goddamn baby right next to me crying. But I can sleep through it.
Yeah.
Because that's how, and also I got
Superpower.
training on the whole sleeping while in a stationary position.
Yeah, I bet you did. Where'd you get that?
From
On my
sleeping.
couch?
There's that.
On my couch?
There's that on your couch, and also on my gaming chair every night where I don't even go to
no,
sleep.
not the
My
chair.
bed is right there. My ass is just sleeping
even
in
make
my.
it to the
I
chair.
can't
Can't
make
even make it
it.
to the bed.
I can't make it to my bed. I just sleep, wake up, and be like, all right, this is just.
I've
Fucking
never
up my
done
neck.
that. I've
No.
never done that.
The other night, we had people over at the house. We were
Yes.
all watching movies, hanging out, having a good time, having a couple of drinks, just to hang out.
It's just another day.
Yeah, just another day. And I look over, and Raz is here, and he's sitting like, and I'm like, hey, man, are you all right? And he goes, yeah, I'm cool. And he's right back unconscious. He stays unconscious. And this is the worst
It's like
part
Sugar
about it.
Mama and Proud
So
Family.
I specifically bought the couch. I
I
bought
was
the
watching
couch
that.
in my room with a low arm on it because I knew that so many of my boys just like get drunk and pass out at my house. I was like, I
Yes.
wanted to be comfortable. Raz stays to sleep, and then he'll wake up randomly in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. and he'll be like, gotta go home. And he'll just leave at 4 a.m. And I'm like, man, you're welcome to crash here. There's nothing wrong.
Gotta
with
go.
it."
I gotta head back.
He's just compelled.
Just so he could go and sleep on his chair.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Legit,
So
that
he
just
goes
happened
home
too.
from sleeping on my couch that I bought specifically so it's comfortable enough for him to sleep on it to go sleep on a gaming chair.
That's how Spartans roll, man.
What a guy.
That's what trains me to go on a goddamn flight next to someone hacking, a baby crying, and you just like, all right, I'm just gonna fuck up my neck.
God bless
feel
it.
I feel it.
So I don't know. It's gonna hit at some point. 5 years down the line, maybe tomorrow, my neck's like, no, I retire.
I mean, you're
You're gonna have to do
30
some
now,
yoga,
right?
man.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're 30 now, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's
well,
gonna
let me
happen.
Tell you.
It's gonna hit like a brick.
Yep, Ian knows. It's coming. 32, 33.
yeah.
You're gonna wake up one day and get like, my back. God damn.
Oh,
As soon as
no.
I
Dying.
as soon as I hit 31, I started getting hangovers that lasted longer than 2 hours.
What a shame.
They're pretty fucking strong, brother.
Jeez. Okay. You know, GB.
Hi,
You
Avi.
were in Brazil for Valorant, right? Tell us
Yeah.
about that. What were you doing there?
It was fun. Yeah, I was hosting the Valorant lock-in event for VCT, like the launch of the VCT, which is
Okay, are you like locked into Valorant now?
Yeah,
Are you like
I
the
mean-
new
I mean,
Valorant
I
host?
don't
Like,
know.
What's the vibe?
Yeah, so I'll be doing. It's not like publicly announced, but honestly,
So what you're saying is,
I'm- He's
Caster's
leaking.
Couch
Exclusive.
yeah. So I'll be doing the VCT Americas League, and then all the global events. So I'm locked in for Japan, which I'm super
Cool.
excited
You
for.
That's
bitch.
sick.
So-
When is
I
that?
get to work an esports event in Tokyo
When is that?
in June.
Cool.
I think it's June because
Yeah,
May
June.
is League of Legends.
That's pretty sick.
Okay, and
Yeah.
are you?
May is
and is
MSI.
that in Tokyo?
Yeah.
Is MSI in Tokyo as well?
No.
Fuck you.
No, where
you
is it?
son of
Fuck
a
you.
bitch.
I don't know where it is.
Riot's
It's in
favorite
London.
child
If you
strikes
don't
again.
Oh wait, yeah, this is fun because
you
because
bastard.
I'm working in your building now.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
you're 10 minutes away.
And but I'm gonna be but I got the Saturday
You
and
got the
Sunday.
good shit.
Dude,
you
there's
got the
beef.
good shit.
I got. Is
We're
there
on
beef with Valorant?
Huh?
Is there beef with Valorant?
Yes,
With the League?
there is. Oh, there's gonna be.
I'm not gonna front, bro. The only reson why I keep up with League of Legends things because you and the rest of it's fucking purple
The
people
only reason
throwing
I keep
magic
with
at
Valorant
each
is
other.
because they stole our shit. So
Well, you know what, man? We're gonna have a great show.
I
It's
bet
all
you
right.
are. I wish we would too.
You're gonna have fans that are gonna be in studio because it's fucking the weekend.
Yeah.
So they're not either old as hell watching The Price is
Old
Right at
as
home,
hell.
or
Damn, son.
These geriatric esports consumers, bro.
yes, we
I gotta
literally.
watch my TSM.
I know.
That was literally a bit that we did where I was a grandma and I was talking about TSM
brought
and
back
CLG.
grandma?
I was grandma. We brought back grandma.
That's great.
We got The Price is Right fan base right here, while you've got literally everybody
yeah,
else.
So I thought, to I guess get into some esports
Let's go.
combos.
Here we go.
I genuinely thought that like we were just gonna have like a different building.
Yeah.
Like I thought that's what was the plan, and I was like, oh sweet, so there won't be no conflicting things, or that Valorant was gonna be like during the week, which honestly would have worked out better for me because that means I could go work events, on
That's
the
fair.
weekend.
Right, yeah.
I
that's
love
fair.
that. I
Yeah.
actually love the fact that LCS is weekdays now because we could go do more things.
Yeah. So you could do like it works for. I mean, if you do
It
different
does not work
games,
for them.
it helps. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying, GB.
But
We're probably sharing the same dressing room. If I know
so
where your
if I
cubby
just
is,
leave a fat turd, just like
I'm leaving that fat turd.
I'm leaving a fat turd
What?
first.
We're Thursday, Friday. Guess what
That's true.
happens?
That's
You're
true.
following up.
Wait, are you guys starting? Are you guys already started? You guys
Yeah.
are already
Yeah.
underway?
Just
Yeah.
arrived. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's right. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right because of the TSM Gabby thing. So which
Do you know about that?
I know a little bit about it. Very angry with people about it.
Yeah.
I actually want to hear your take on that. Can we segue into that?
Sure. I mean, Gabby's like one of my dearest friends. So for me, I watched the segment.
Yeah.
It seemed perfectly fine. So I was like, yeah, this is a recap of the things that have happened in a monologue style, maybe with a few jokes and bits and bobs. And, that's really about it. Didn't realize just honestly, the toxic TSM fan base that was just attacking her. And that really sucked. And also I was like, viciously angry at Riot because I was just like, how do you let her take the brunt of the blame for this? So I messaged people that I knew over there, and it was like, I'm just going to be upfront. If this ever happens on a show that I'm hosting, I'm calling all of you out on this because this is inappropriate and it should not be left to the talent to freaking fend for themselves against the wolves. And that was my takeaway from it, you know? So it sucked. It sucked to see a friend go through that. And also, like, not to air her stuff, but she has gone through a lot over the last like year or so personally, not to get into things. So just the fact that like, kind of soured me on all of that. You know?
Yeah, let me just give quick little context really fast for people who aren't familiar with the situation. So basically, this is a couple weeks ago. From what I understand, things have very much settled, so we're in a good place.
Okay,
now
good.
It's kind of like okay to talk about. But basically, a couple weeks ago, we had LeTigress, we know her as Gabby, go on the LCS and perform one of her monologue segments to hype up the TSM. It was TSM CLG, right?
No, TSM 100 Thieves.
TSM 100 Thieves.
Yeah, because Double
Oh,
Lift
because
100
Double
Thieves
Lift,
right now,
yeah.
he's playing against TSM.
Yeah, so
that
it's
was
to
the
hype up
context.
the TSM 100 Thieves rivalry because, Double Lift, he played on both teams before. Let's try to find some sort of narrative. And again, like the piece itself was fine, but what triggered a lot of people was bringing up the Double Lift Reggie kind of like Twitter beef in which documents were being shared from like the lawyer docs where if you were to look at the situation as very surface level, it's like, haha, that's a meme. But I think what not a lot of people, including Gabby, knew, which I spoke to her about, was if you've spoken with some of the ex-TSM employees, like fucked up shit went down behind closed doors at TSM. So...
Well, it sounds like it's a Tuesday for them.
There it is.
So I think...
What do you think the T in TSM stands for?
So I think where a lot of the kind of like frustrations that gave people a jumping off point to go after Gabby instead of going like, oh, well, this was just a weird segment. I think what changed it to kind of like ignite the spark was she's making fun of people who were traumatized, or she's making fun of people who went through like truly traumatic situations. So that's kind of like the context surrounding the issue. But Flowers, you were going to say something?
No, I was just going to talk about like the biggest thing that I was frustrated with the whole thing is like, I understand that the segment didn't hit exactly what it was going for.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it probably got a little bit in the weeds too much. Like, there were other ways to possibly go about it. But the big thing is, everybody was able to just dial their lasers in on Gabby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that ain't right. Because there's nothing that ever goes live on one of a professionally produced esports product or anything like that that doesn't get approved or at least like greenlit by multiple people.
Yes.
And so that's like,
unless explicitly stated otherwise, because sometimes some people are like, I just produced
like,
and did the
I
whole
trust
thing.
you.
You know?
Go
Sexism in gaming.
Anyway, we're not getting it. Nope.
No, we're not doing that
You're
right
not
now.
G4ing
Sit
us.
back
We're not.
down.
You're not G4ing
Sit back
us.
down.
Let's go back to what we're doing. No,
Stop
Raz, you can't say sit
Stop
back
it.
down to the. No, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Go
No,
ahead,
wait.
Flowers.
You have almost the rest of the month, all right? Yeah, right.
God damn it. Okay.
That's right. And I'm here now.
Go
So
ahead.
Anyway, what I was going to say is my biggest frustration is the fact that, in my opinion, one of Riot's biggest problems right now relating to the community and like the players in general, Riot are choking themselves to death with red tape. They have to go through so many approvals and so many revisions, so many okays and yeses, and that's the right call. And then it got to the point where I don't think Riot released a statement on the entire thing until Gabby had already been tanking this shit for over 72 hours. Yep. And I'm like, that's not acceptable in my point of view. There should be, and I even told them this, I said there should be a red button, dude. Where if there is a problem that is like this, that is causing some sort of heinous like harassment, community sentiment, whatever, there should be a red button that you can press where you have someone, I don't care if they're an executive, whatever, that you trust to make a call and you deploy that person to diffuse this situation. I don't want to see this go through 15 steps of comms and PR and HR and all this fucking shit because she's eating shit the entire time that's happening.
yeah.
So let's fucking get it deployed. Let's get shit taken care of and address it in a timely manner.
But also, like, I mean, look, I say this as a very involved host because I like to know everything that I'm doing.
Right, yeah.
And I like to
Absolutely.
be prepared.
Absolutely.
And I also like to have, like, the context and everything. If I would have seen this come across, you know, I would have flagged that immediately.
Yep.
Because I would have been like, this isn't going to work. Not because of like, protecting fee fees. Like, I don't care about that. Like, honestly, for a lot of these team owners and organizations, a lot of them are on my shit list, especially organizations like the Guard that have just completely turned their backs on the people that cared so much about their brand. So for me, a lot of these team owners and a lot of these team organizations are very not great. But
they're not on the level.
They're not.
Yeah.
But for me, I have to look at that and be like, well, this kind of doesn't feel like it fits within the context of a League of Legends match. It's drama.
Yeah.
And drama's always good for the clicks and the views. But how does this relate to the actual competition that these two teams are about to, partake in?
Yes.
And that, I think, was the part where, and then I found out more information that I don't want to say on camera, but I had found out more information about how this thing came about and then all the other things. And I'm like, how did it even get to that point to begin with, that it even showed up on a broadcast? Like, I just mind-boggling to me.
And that's
honestly.
the thing, because I agree with you fully. I think it comes down to, and this is respect to all producers out there that have the ability and like the confidence to just say no to a segment, to slam it down if they don't think it's hitting the vision, or really work hard with the talent to be like, okay, so the initial goal of this was to talk about the rivalry between Doublelift and TSM. Or you want to talk about that story? This is how it best serves that. Or like, tell me what you think you want out of it to best serve that. Because the end product wasn't that. And I think a lot of the times there are a lot of people that just nod their head, say yes to it, because they're just happy when talent comes out with an idea.
Especially when it's a week-to-week show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's always hard because, like, we kind of had the same problem in Boosted, where it was like tough to come up with ideas all the time. You know what I mean? Especially
100%.
given the 100 limitations that we had. But when you're doing a week-to-week esports show and I don't want to. I don't know the inner workings of the LCS or the LEC or anything else, but it definitely feels like two separate shows. Yeah, but like two wildly separate shows.
They very are.
Yeah,
they very much are.
And the way that they deliver information to their audiences it sounds like the producers have like a vision of how they want to do things. From what I'm gathering, it seems more like a sports centery type of approach, more video game journalism, I guess, if you will. That's what that segment felt like.
Yeah,
that segment felt like something that belonged on an episode of Sports Center, where they do like a deep dive into like why LeBron James screwed over the Cavs again, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's what it felt like. It fit rather than a pre-match, because that's what it was. It was a pre-show leading into
a game.
A game. So yeah, I think it's just those like details where it's like, maybe make the space for that content to exist. And then, you can get more deep dives and more retrospective type of content-based pieces that would be a little bit more fruitful for like the audience in long term versus like shoehorning it into a live show, before a match. It just, was not the best look, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that it was just an overall miss. And again, for me, I think it just mainly falls on producers and, again, the approvals. Because there were so many things at G4 where, like, I would go up to our producer at Boosted in G4 and be like, I want to punch GoldenBoy in the face.
Yeah.
There it is.
Like,
That sounds like good content to me.
GoldenBoy, did you ever
and then
get
I'd be
punched in the
like,
face?
that sounds like great content. How do we fit it in?
Did you ever receive direct kinetic damage?
No, but I did a thing with like the Black Okage where like he like did a slap in the face and stuff, and like they were okay with that. But no, like Ovilee would always have like really good ideas, and it would oftentimes get kind of like shut down. But I think we're going down the road.
No. I got a good one.
I don't know about Ovilee having good ideas.
What do you got?
So we were doing kind of like jokey coverage of a game, because remember, G4 Boosted, the esports show that we were on, was an esports show in which we were not allowed to show any gameplay footage.
It's the best.
No gameplay footage, no highlight clips, no esports like views from last week.
Wait, you really?
No one?
Like you were
Nothing?
not, like that was like red lit. You could not have
Nothing.
footage.
So we had a moment where esports, God forsake, got on TV. It was me doing the Overwatch League Grand Finals opening, a clip that literally involved me.
Yes.
That I had permission to use, and they were like, "Nah, you can't use it."
What?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because it had. And
That's
because they would have
madness.
to go
Imagine.
That's
to,
madness.
I mean, lawyers that just didn't really like
Didn't want
work
to do
in that
anything.
space.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
their space was more like, not. It felt like they weren't entertainment lawyers. They were more just like HR lawyers, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what it felt like to me.
We just did not have good people, and they were all overpaid.
Yep.
But for Boosted, our little esports show, I was talking about one of my new favorite games, which was called Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
Was
I
this
actually remember that
horny
one.
Anime bikini water
Oh, that was good. that
Actually
one
not a bad game, though.
that was pretty good, right?
Like, as a competitive game, it actually was kind of decent.
No way,
It
man.
was.
Crap out of
way.
it. No.
No way.
I'm
right
not saying
now.
it wasn't a great competitive game. I was saying like it was a shockingly decent competitive game.
So
For anime bikini water gun
Yes.
horny nonsense.
Yes.
Now,
I would watch
the-
that esport.
the only context
That would be
that
my
you
second
need to
game.
know is that it's basically like a battle royale, or not battle royale, it's like team deathmatch,
Yeah.
but with water guns. And when you knock out or eliminate an enemy girl, her bikini flies off. It's the best.
And
It's
you
the best
focus
game.
fire in the part that you
I
want falling
remember
off.
seeing you play this on my friends list and almost unfriending you.
I've done worse. But basically, for this sketch that we were going to have before this episode played, I had to literally fight tooth and nail
Uh-oh.
to do the skit in a swimsuit top.
Yeah. It
Really?
was like
In a
real
swimsuit
big
top.
deal. It was like yeah.
And you guys know me. I don't got titties. I don't got cleavage.
True.
So it wasn't like, I was bounding out there with giant double Ds where it's like, look at me, world. Like, no, I'm pretty fucking flat chested. So it's just bikini top. Makeup artist was adding the contour to make it look like there were circles there.
Painting shadows.
She was really trying.
Literally.
She had to be an artist on that one.
Literally.
Da Vinci.
The Sistine Chapel will pale in comparison to this.
We need a lot of shading here.
But the skit was GoldenBoy is like, oh, I want to talk about Halo. And I go, no, Peach Beach Splash. And I get him with a water gun.
yeah.
And I was like, let me be in a bikini top and then just the water gun. And that's it, because we're supposed to be at the beach. The background is the beach. The joke
You're
is
one
the
of the
fucking
characters
beach.
from the game.
And I had to tell, like, this man, okay, we're
I'm ready.
fucking man,
Give it to me.
where he's like, no, I don't want you to sexualize yourself. And I'm like, I'm not sexualizing myself. We're at a fucking beach. This is a costume. It's sexualizing if I'm going, ooh, woo, my oingy boingy mommy milkies, watch our stuff and like pay for my shit, right?
And then to make matters even worse,
Oh, I'm ready for this.
then a few weeks later, then Name Your Price had Amaranth on their show, and she was in a bikini, and it fit because she wasn't sexualizing herself. It was the gimmick. It was the bit. Like that was like there were often times where we would have to explain something and be like, no, this is the joke,
Yeah.
and it would be like, no, it's the optics. No, this is the joke.
Yeah.
Like if you're not doing it that way, then don't do it at all. So
Yeah.
that was sorry, Ali.
No,
Continue,
but that was very much it. It was just people not fucking getting it. And I mean, there were a couple times where I was working with producer Ian on Attack of the Show.
Yeah, producer Ian.
Ian, who's like an actual good producer, had to listen to all of my crappy ideas and then go no or yes. And that's what a good producer does.
Mostly no.
Fuck you.
There it is.
No.
Good job,
he
Ian.
said that the reason that he said no was because it was bad. That means he's a good producer.
There it is. Great producer.
Sure.
We've had this
You're
conversation
fired.
before.
Great producer.
Oh no! What will I do?
Oh no, you've been fired from your job that pays $0. How will you ever be able to pay the rent?
Oh no.
Speaking of being paid $0, we are having our Patreon online right now. So you guys can all go subscribe to that and give us $5.
It's never been offline. It's not a special deal, and it never will be. But just make sure that if you subscribe, you'll be able to see more cool videos of us doing a shot together where Ovilee doesn't know how to drink anything that's stronger than 1% alcohol. We're going to have a great time. Sometimes Raz is going to do a dance. He knows how to twerk, and his ass knows how to
How many
throw.
twerks have you done on the show?
On this show?
Yeah.
Actually, none.
That's what
That
I'm
was
saying.
insane.
If you want to
That's a
be
problem.
here
There it is.
for
That
the
is an
very
issue.
first Raz twerk of all time, drop a dime. We'll see you on Patreon.
Yeah, there it is.
What I was going to say is it's online right now because I'm revamping it. So it'll have actual more rewards and tiers. If you
I mean,
guys,
saying that there
I
could
clicked
be
on
a-
it the other day. It was really shit.
Yeah.
that's because you aren't a Patreon.
Yeah, I know. I almost sent you a message that said, Ovilee, give me a cheat code because I'm not paying for this. but I want to see what's up there.
You'd be paying yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
Give me a cheat code.
I think that's a good tier. Just hit a tier. Raz twerks. I mean,
Raz twerks.
It's only
Raz twerks tier.
objectifying
I
him
would do
if
it.
he
What?
doesn't want to.
Are
do
you
it.
are you a $5 man or a $10 man?
I'm a $10 man.
$10 man.
$10
$10.
man.
You
I'm
can
a
see
$10
Raz
man.
throw ass and eat grass.
I think the next tier is
I don't know
15.
if it-
Uh,
Man, if there's
You're
grass,
gonna
though.
eat a salad and twerk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check out the Patreon. I'm going to keep uploading it with stuff. You can also give us recommendations of what you would like for reward tiers. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff. We went on a total tangent when you brought up the LeTigress stuff because I did want to talk about it. But we're also supposed to hear you talk a little bit about your time in Brazil.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean,
Let's
honestly, it wasn't that exciting. You know, I literally did the thing that we all do, which was go to the hotel,
Uh-oh.
sleep,
No. Don't say
wake
it.
up,
No.
hit the shuttle,
No.
work, come back, drink with Achilleos,
Yep.
sleep,
Good guy.
go like that. I had one day off in all of
Fuck.
Yep.
Damn.
West Sao Paulo.
That sounds like an
No.
event to me, bro.
Yeah. So
Damn.
I had one day off. We went. Well, also because it was. For the life of me, do not know why Riot did this, but that's a thing apparently. They planned the event during Carnival, which is like the biggest festival in Brazil.
What is
The
Carnival?
festival?
Like-
It's a massive cultural festival where
Okay.
they just celebrate. It's like one of the largest productions too. It's nuts. They like dress up
kidding.
incredibly. They have musical acts from all around the world that come through. It's just think of like, I guess, Ian, what you describe is like EDC, but just like
EDC.
cultural EDC. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Bro, what?
well, I would say it's just a massive festival, and it's like concerts and all sorts of stuff, and it
Okay.
takes over the entire country. But Rio and Sao Paulo are like Rio's the biggest, but Sao Paulo is also pretty big for like
Yeah.
concerts and stuff. So I mean, traffic was nuts. It was just like insanely busy. There was so much going on. But yet they decided, oh yeah, let's run a Valorant event right in the middle of this. Nothing can go wrong. And then they picked a venue that had no air conditioner. It was really bad. Swamp ass every day.
Oh,
And
man.
So that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like glamorous or anything. We were just, but it was fun. I mean, it was still fun. Like, it had some of the best matches. It was genuinely a unique tournament. 32 teams. Single elimination, separated in 2 brackets. No region played against each other until it got to like the later rounds.
Oh, that's really good.
So every region faced off against one another. So you really got to see like a lot of the teams that honestly you may not get to see at an international event
Right,
ever
yeah.
again. So it was
Uh-huh.
a great experience for them
Yeah.
as well. So
The
it
finals
was
were
cool.
insane too.
Yeah, it was like an anime. It was
I
incredible.
saw everybody tweeting about it, and like I say, I only follow Valorant because I'm mad at them for taking our fucking weekend
There
spot.
it
So I
is.
don't know shit about the game,
Sorry
shit
about
about
that,
the
bro.
teams, shit about none of that shit. But I saw everybody tweeting, so I was like, something has
It
to be
was
going
so
down.
hype, man.
Something is going down right now.
I stopped watching when Fnatic were up 2-0 and then came back when people were freaking out, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's at game 5. Fnatic are making the
Dude,
comeback."
It was unreal.
That was insane.
I was watching it with my wife, and she had never seen a game of Valorant. It's just not a game that interests her. She's a Halo girl.
Oh, it makes
and
sense. There it
and I was watching it, and I was like, well, I guess this is it. It was like they were gonna win. Fnatic were gonna win. It were 2-0 up. Like it just seemed like everything was gonna go right. And then they lost game 3, and you're like, okay, I believe it was split. It was like, okay, but they should be able to rebound. Like I think Fracture was game 4, so should be fine. And they lost that one too. And then you're like, oh, this is bad.
Is it the reverse
This
sweep?
is bad.
Is it the reverse sweep?
And then freaking Loud were up 11-3. They were up 11-3.
God.
And for those who may not watch Valorant, because you guys maybe don't watch it.
League
It's
of
a
Legendas.
13. It's a 13. First 13 you win.
Yeah.
So they just needed Loud just needed 2 rounds.
I thought it was first to 15.
No. CS is CS isn't first to 15, but what is it? CS is like 16. I don't remember.
CS is something there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
wait, so they're 11-3, 13 wins.
Yeah.
13 wins, and they were up 11-3.
Bro,
they went
that's-
into the half up 9-3, won the pistol, and then when you win the pistol, you kind of automatically win the second round because the
You get
other
more
team
guns
doesn't
or
have
something,
doesn't
right?
have better weaponry than you do. They can only really have pistols and like some equipment. So you're just assuming like, okay, this is done because Fnatic needed to win the pistol round and they didn't win it. And then they lost the second round. And then they won the round that they statistically should have won, which is the third round. So the other team who won the first 2 rounds would have slightly stronger weapons, and then the team that lost 2 rounds straight would be able to buy a full kit.
Yeah.
So they'd be able to buy armor and an AR.
Do you
and
get like bonus money or something if you lose? Like
yeah,
what's-
if you lose in a row. So they were supposed to win that round, but then after that, it's like, dude, you're up 11-4 at this point. There's just no way that you give up that many rounds in a row.
That's 7 rounds, man.
and Loud gave up that many rounds in
Wait,
a row.
are you telling me? So it started off, Fnatic is 2-0, right?
Yeah.
And then Loud catches up, makes it 2-2.
Yeah.
Loud goes up 11-3 in terms of
but
like
here's the thing.
round score.
It was like the 2-0 that Fnatic had was like dumpstered. Like they looked dominant.
It's
it,
like
it
you're
looked
just,
like
you're
they
just
were
shitting
not,
on idiots.
Yeah, it
Like,
looked like they were not going to lose this at all. And no matter how hard the Brazilian crowd cheered and lost their minds, Loud just could not do it. And then they found a way to win. I believe it was split. They found a way to win on map 3, which is called map 3 for right now. And then it just little by little
There
just
we go.
piled
So,
on.
so where we're at, I'm still tracking this here. It's 2-2. Loud is up 11-3,
At this point, yeah, 11-4, let's just say, when Fnatic finally got their first round.
and Fnatic wins.
And then Fnatic just had the craziest
Holy
comeback.
shit, man, that's
Well,
wild.
no, it got
That's-
even crazier, though.
That's
Oh,
some
true.
movie
It
shit.
got
Okay,
even
all right,
crazier.
all right,
Okay.
regale me
Because-
with the tail. Regale me
Because
with the tail.
Fnatic had to come back, which they did.
Yep.
Right? But then it could have become a fake comeback because
Yep.
that Loud again
Lost.
only needed
Could've
2
fumbled the
rounds.
ball.
Yes.
So Fnatic got to 12. And then look who won their round. It was Loud.
Bam.
And then we went to overtime. So then we go into OT on Icebox, which is like, and it was cool too because it was 2 different philosophies on how to play Icebox. It was the old version, which was using Sage, who she has the wall, so you can get safer plants because you put the wall down in certain locations and it allows you to plant. But Loud were playing Harbor, who's the new agent that came out, and he like fucks with water basically, and he could throw like water walls around, right?
What does
You
water
can
ball do?
shoot through them. It just slows you down, but it really just gives you cover to get into the site. And he has another ability called Cove, where he creates a smoke, but it's a smoke that is a shell, so you can actually safely plant in the cove and not get shot. Whereas
it defends you.
yeah, it
Like
defends
the
you.
edge of the
so
smoke
think of like a
grenade,
brimstone
blocks
smoke,
bullets.
a brimstone smoke, right?
Okay.
Except you can't shoot through it.
Oh, so if the bullet hits the edge of the smoke,
Yeah, it's a
it-
shield,
it
so it's
doesn't
just doing.
penetrate.
It's just you're. So it was 2
Oh.
different philosophies on how to play this particular map. The new version that has kind of been like the lock-in meta, because sometimes tournaments have metas. That's
Yeah,
just
of
how it
course.
is. Versus Fnatic, and Fnatic were like the Icebox team. That was the other thing.
Oh.
So they were the Icebox team. This was the map that they had dominated. Like Na'Vi, try as they might, could never beat them in EMEA. Like it was their fucking map. So the fact that all this happened, and then there's this like one iconic shot of Boaster. He's hands up, and he's just thinking about what to do. And then you hear it, like they share the comms later, and he's like, "Win me this round, and I'll win us this game." And that is what happened.
shit.
And
That's
it was like
pretty
a fucking anime arc in
Oh
real
my
time.
God.
Find the Fnatic like on Twitter. Fnatic put the like the comms. It's nuts. Like it's literally Durka, who's like the best player in the world right now, and he's just like, "We got this. We just need one more. Just give me one more, and they get another round. We just need one more, and they get another round. One more again, and they get another round.
Run
And
it back, run it
it was so sick. It was honestly. So I'm watching this with Cynthia, my wife, and we're I'm like going through everything, and I was like, they're gonna lose, like this, and Cynthia's like, but is there still a chance that Fnatic can win?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, there's no way that Fnatic can win. Statistically impossible for them to win. It's 11-3. And then they came back, and then they came back again. And Cynthia steps away. She looks at the screen. She's like, you said it was over. I believed you. I got up, and I'm missing this. And then she like watched the whole thing, and
Aw.
it was like really cool, but nuts.
That's
such
sick,
a
man.
sick.
That's
fucking-
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So did we just bridge the friendship gap between Valorant and League of Legends?
Nah, fuck them.
We need a little bit more time to get there.
Well, yeah, maybe I should do like
Shit
some
in his
LCS
dressing
stuff.
room.
Maybe I'll show up on
Hey.
LCS.
Hey, they're
bro.
letting
Bro, you want to come
anyone
on for
in.
a TriCast? We'd be happy to have you. Come on.
They're letting anyone in. Just have this asshole show up. Come on.
I say that because they let me back in.
Oh, yay. That's
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
We do need some GB Chun-Li. I think we need them.
Oh
GB
my
Chun-Li,
God.
you
we
need
need them.
a little. Oh God.
I
Thickums.
honestly think I honestly think that LCS could potentially benefit from having G4 people on. You, me, Gina.
Oh yeah.
What is Gina
We're
going to
not
do
having
on LCS?
Gina.
Everything
Gina's
Gina
not allowed.
does
Gina.
is not approvable by a fucking
But see, that's the problem.
game-sponsored
problem.
esports broadcast.
That's the issue, man.
No!
Okay, one, Gina,
I love Gina. Don't
Gina
get me
can-
wrong.
Gina can pair back. She can.
She
can
can-
pair
yeah.
back. But it depends. It depends how off the script she ends up going.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you pair her with someone who can like bring her back in, it's perfectly fine.
Yes.
You know,
Plus,
I trust Gina.
all of the stuff that I was doing, or the majority of it besides the cast, which we could talk about later, everything was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So my granny bit was pre-recorded. I did like a fake news bit that was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
There's a
Like,
lot we're doing is pre-recorded right now.
imagine Gina dressed up as like little girl Annie and your Tibbers.
God, I know exactly who that is because I've seen him before.
Yeah.
I know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just dressed as fucking Irelia or something. I'm standing in the corner.
Who's the
I'll
one?
be
Who's the
scarred.
guy? Who's the character that you're obsessed with? The one that you
Set?
Set.
Victor.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
It's like
Victor.
she likes some frail.
I still
and
have it. I
damaged.
still have it muted on
That's
Twitter.
what she said to me. She said that to me.
It's not frail and damaged. It's skinny and scrawny.
This guy is coughing up blood.
I like them
He's
skinny and
different, Tommy.
He's
scrawny.
coughing up blood. He can barely walk
Yes.
because he is suffering from his
and
injuries.
Ovilee is
So
just
you-
on it, dude.
Yes.
You know he's packing.
No.
No.
He's packing a crutch.
That
he
shit is-
doesn't know how.
Skinny and scrawny guys.
He's not packing. If he has he is so sick and just weak. That shit is the tiniest thing you've ever seen.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Imagine though,
not.
that ass has like a tripod on
The meat has to go
Leans
somewhere.
forward, you know,
All I'm saying
the
is
meat has to go
The meat
somewhere.
has to go somewhere.
Wouldn't it just go to his brain?
if
Because he's
there's
like really
no
smart.
meat on the bone.
No,
The
no,
fact
no.
that I'm on Raz's side in this argument
See?
finds me
This
at
guy,
quite a compromised position for most other things in my life.
all I'm saying is when Victor climaxes, there's dust coughing up. Just coming out. So
It's like this. Huh? That's it.
You don't think it's
I
just
guess you would
arcane
never be
energy?
afraid.
You're thinking, what is this arcade energy? You want our? Oh, Ovilee.
It's the hex tech
Oh,
shit.
bless
That
Oh
child.
shit.
Bless you. Yeah, but you know what's actually good about Valorant because at least like North America is good, so that's nice.
That's true.
Yeah. So
we'll
you
take
guys,
that.
when are you guys gonna catch up?
Oh wait a minute. I shouldn't be happy about that. I should not be happy about
That's
that.
the one thing I know about League of Legends.
Oh,
It's-
God.
That is the one thing I know
It's-
about League.
It's not just League of Legends.
Wait, what's
it's everything.
happening? What's happening?
I've still not processed the comment yet.
It's arcane energy.
I'm working through it.
It's arcane
Oh,
energy.
man.
you
Yeah,
know?
at least you don't need a condom.
because it's all dust.
That's all it does.
Well, isn't that kind of like, you know how there's dehydrated milk?
Yeah.
There's dehydrated milk.
Yeah.
Do we have any other topics for the podcast?
Roll it next. Producer Ian, what do we
I don't
got?
know.
Rock and
Okay.
roll,
This
rock
is
and roll.
what
We can
people
go-
pay for. you know?
Exactly. Or
This is why
don't
you
pay
join
for.
Patreon. Or
True.
don't
Or
pay.
don't pay for.
True.
Which, by the way, I found out that half of the people who watch each episode of Caster's Couch aren't subscribed.
Oh, you guys gotta
Hey,
change that up.
congratulations. You're the smart ones.
You gotta change that up.
Yeah.
So
I actually feel bad for the ones that do pay.
Yeah, me too.
No. Subscribe to YouTube. They aren't subscribed to YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
well, I don't subscribe to anything on YouTube.
Oh no,
I
this
only use
guy's
it as a music
incredible at
player.
what
Are
he
you
does.
just like an algorithm bot? It's like whatever it shows you on the front page is what you click.
Yeah, bro, I'm here to ride the roller coaster.
I've changed his algorithm.
We go up and
I've
down,
changed-
and we fucking
Flowers.
rock and roll.
Flowers. Tell him about your YouTube algorithm.
Oh no.
You motherfucker.
What did he do?
Did this. You did this. You did this. You did this, and you're laughing about it.
Yes,
you
I
did
did.
this,
What did
and
he
you're
do?
laughing about it. So I had the boys over the other night. It was movie night, right?
Yeah.
And so Raz is the first dude to show up, and it's so me and my buddy Aaron, who lives with me, and Raz shows up, and so we're just watching some TV, waiting for everybody else to show up.
Exactly.
And normally, when you're just watching TV, waiting for everybody else to show up, you watch funny videos on YouTube, right?
Yes.
You're not going to start a movie or anything because not everybody else
You
is
do
there.
office reruns.
Right, yeah. You can
do
do
that.
office reruns, just watch some random crap.
You can do that.
yeah.
You know what Raz types in on the YouTube thing on my TV, which is signed into my account?
Well, what is he doing?
Best porn games 2023. And so,
Orc massage?
Oh,
content,
well, it
dude.
no,
started.
we got one with Pregnant Shrek 2. is
That
what
was
we got.
great. The jiggle physics on the belly.
No, god damn it, that shit was horrible. And then he found multiple of these videos. We had to watch through like 3 different top 10 lists.
I don't even know how it started because it started with like, oh, top 5 NS like not safe for work games, and I think I knew it was gonna be porn.
Oh, how did you know? How could you possibly have?
But I
deduced?
don't know how I came to be interested in looking for it, but I did, and then like just a curiosity, and then we just never stopped because about 70% of them is just visual novels.
No, 90% of them.
Yeah,
we found
90.
all of 2 games that were actually real games. One of them was Horny Silent Hill, and the other one was a horny video game version of the movie Avatar, not the kid with the arrow on his head, but the blue aliens.
Yes, that one was well done.
The one girl flied.
That one's well done.
Like, she was actually flying,
Yes.
and it looked like the game had flying physics. I'm like, this is a porno
There's
game?
flying physics and everything.
Yeah.
Literally picture perfect Avatar, by the way. They stole everything. I'm surprised they didn't get like nuked by lawsuits.
It's
I
probably not
mean-
big enough to get found.
That's fair. But then the porn started coming out. I was like, okay, now we
The
make
frat house one?
okay, yes.
Yeah.
So now your YouTube algorithm's just like,
It's kind of
My algorithm is fucked.
kind of cooked.
I get very, let's call them bizarre recommendations.
He gets that.
How bizarre. Would you say that they take you on an adventure?
No, I would say that they're not the stuff that you would click on because there's 3D people in them.
There it is.
I was trying to set it up for a JoJo joke.
No.
No, not allowed. That's
no,
not
not
happening.
allowed. Not
No.
allowed.
Sorry, but
I
I feel offended that you were Googling or looking up best porn games instead of just coming to me directly.
Oh, because you have the information. Yes, I can tell from the catalog that's up here that you would know exactly which games to get.
Yeah, let's not forget.
Wait, that's actually a really good one.
But,
Kiss
define
him,
really good.
not me.
Like
Okay.
good story.
Yeah,
or
so let me explain what that one's about. Here, hand me the
Is it
cover.
doesn't
also
look like a
boy love
title.
anime though,
She
or
needs to
boy
get
love
it.
Kind
manga?
of. Okay, wait.
Kiss
This.
him, not me.
Why is it
Okay,
backwards?
let her explain.
That's
'cause
manga.
she'll just
Okay.
gonna
Oh, wait, yeah,
explode.
that's everybody explain that
Let me
last time.
explain. Let me explain because this manga, I have never felt seen,
They
like
better
seen
sponsor
before.
us.
Okay.
This is so good. No,
If
it's
we're-
already over.
Kiss him, not me.
Kiss him, not me. So basically, this manga is about this girl. Her name is Serinuma. And basically, she's super fat at the beginning. She's super fat at the beginning. This is important to
Okay.
the story. So she's super fat at the beginning. She's an otaku and a fujoshi.
What-
Otaku.
okay.
So
I know
let me.
otaku
I know. Let
means
me explain.
Anime fan.
Yeah.
What is the second one?
Fujoshi means, it roughly translates to rotten girl in Japanese, and it means a girl who's obsessed with BL.
Oh, so that's you.
Wait,
It's literally.
that's the thing that you watch.
So you're rotten.
Oh,
Yes.
BL is the boy love. It's
Yes.
the yaoi stuff.
So basically, what happens is in the first episode,
Where am I?
she's watching her favorite anime, and the main character that she's in love with dies.
Oh.
Just dies,
Oh,
right?
in the anime.
In the anime.
Oh,
Is this
okay,
your
I was about to
nightmare,
say,
Ovilee?
That's
Huh?
dark.
Yes, this is my nightmare. So he dies, so she shuts herself in her room for 2 weeks, and when she comes out, all of a sudden she's skinny and hot. So she's skinny and hot now, and so she shows up to school, and all of the guys want to date her.
Yeah.
But the entire time, she's just like, wait, they want to date me? But I want them to date each other. And so basically, it's her and then this other girl, and she's kind of gay for her. She's like lesbian for her, but she also appreciates BL. So they're
hate
best friends.
Everything about
And
that.
it's-
This is going on record.
It is so good. You have
This
no
sounds
idea how
psychomanipulative.
freaking
No,
good
no,
it is.
that actually sounds like a pretty unique
No.
story.
It's
I mean,
It's
unique, all
uniquely
right.
Yeah.
awful.
Here's
This
all-
sounds terrible.
How
My
many issues?
there are 14. Look at the shelf for me.
Wait, how does the
14.
14,
morbid
correct.
14, yeah.
how does the morbid start of this book turn into just a typical go to school and now you're just like, yeah, I want the boys to date each other?
That's how it works,
It's
bro.
so
You
sweet.
never
It's
wanted to
really,
go to
really
school and just let the
cute.
boys date each other?
I saw a show one
Sounds
time
like
with a
another
girl
day
who
job.
I was
Sounds
hanging
good.
out with a few years back, and she showed me this fucking show, and some chick got hit with a truck, and then they were a zombie pop star group. And I was like, what in the hell is going on?
Oh, that's Zombieland Saga. So basically,
Yep,
so
that's
that's
what
an
it was.
isekai. And so basically what happens is this dude...
Of course, Ovilee knew exactly what I was talking about.
No. So basically, the entire premise of that anime is this one dude is trying to make this town popular. The town is called Saga, and just no one knows about it. It's not touristy or whatever. So he digs up a bunch of dead women and then turns them into zombies, and then he's like, the only way to restore like popularity and tourism to this town,
not agriculture, not tourism,
is by having
GoldenBoy's over here with the Age of Empires approach. Like,
Yeah.
we need to build the economy.
is by having a girls idol group.
yes.
So they're all
I do it.
idols.
Honestly, makes a lot of sense.
It's so
I would
good.
do the same thing.
They have rap, they have headbanging metal, they do like shamisen, like the old Japanese music style.
Okay.
So good.
That's
Yeah.
not the crowd you want to be having in your town. I'm sorry if I'm the mayor of this town.
But I mean, like, if it's getting money, then it's getting money, right? Did it succeed?
True, but
Yeah.
there's no
Oh
town
yeah,
halls.
I mean,
killed.
obviously.
There are
It
no
killed.
town halls. I'm not talking to the
So wait a
incel
second.
groups.
Raz saying,
Yes.
if I'm the mayor, that's not for me. This reminds me. So the other night, this was a different boys' night. I
Okay.
had everybody hang out at my house.
Why do I not get invited to boys' night?
What are you?
Oh, wow.
What month is it, bitch?
There's
Yeah.
one word.
St. Patrick's Day month.
I have one word.
Ovilee.
That's
It's-
the reason for this. Sexism. You're not allowed. There it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
They
Boom.
just flat out said it.
Yeah.
So I just want you to look into the camera right now and say, I discriminate against women.
I discriminate against women. Now back to my story.
Oh!
Let's go ahead.
Wow,
and
Look,
get back
that's
to what
gonna
I
get
was-
clipped.
I discriminate against Ovilee. I think there we go. I need to change that.
Okay.
There we go.
There's one particular.
Yeah,
one.
this
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
Might not
particular.
make the edit. I don't know if that's gonna make the edit.
And then GB, now to your camera.
Women's History Month is a time for us to reflect on the contributions that women have made to our society, continue to make to our society.
Wait. Tell us about your month, GB.
Oh,
Black History Month. You better believe it, my man. How you doing, brother?
you know
can you
that
say
that's
it?
not the case.
Oh,
right?
I think we all know.
Say it,
Ian?
GB.
GB actually has a.
Yeah. Hispanic Heritage 2 weeks that gets freaking nestled in between. I don't even know when, all right, because none of us care about it. But also to everyone out there who sees me as an Afro-Latino, which I do appreciate, and I'm very
It's the dump truck.
it is the fatty, and I totally understand
There
it.
it is.
But I am not African American. I am not black. I'm considered Afro-Latino, but that just feels weird to take that from my black brothers and sisters.
Ian,
So-
do you accept him?
He's honorary.
There it is. There
Can
it
he
is.
say it?
I mean, no. I mean, I grew up in the hood, so I have seen and heard a lot of stuff. All right,
It's like, no.
Ian knows exactly what I'm talking about.
One sec.
Uptown. That's 6 train.
That 6 train, dude. He knows exactly.
I want to run this by you three.
Yes.
Even though it's no longer
Because of our
February.
pigment. I get it.
I see.
So I think this is the wildest reasoning that I've
Uh-oh.
ever heard someone say as to why they could say it.
Oh, I'm ready for this. I'm
Okay.
ready for this. I'm ready for this.
Okay.
I'm ready for this.
Because I came up through the fighting game community.
No way. No way.
I didn't expect that one.
So
No,
I was
I've heard that one
beating
before.
left and right. And I'm like, I don't think you can say that. And he's like, nah, it's cool. I'm good at Street
Also,
Fighter.
Gears of War.
Hey,
Gears of War was another one as well.
Does he main Blanca though?
he's
That's important.
he's like,
Who's he
oh,
maining?
I'm main DJ. You know
main
how?
in
Wait,
DJ?
was that the guy you showed us the videos of?
Yes,
Yeah.
I showed him
Or
DJ.
Balrog.
Is he maining Balrog? You know what I'm
That's all right,
saying?
baby. There
Where
we
my
go.
fight buddy? Is that what he's saying?
He has to be.
Oh man.
That's
good.
insane. How'd you feel? Okay, I gotta ask you because I was showing him the history of DJ from the very beginning at the start till now.
Wait, DJ is what?
DJ had a glow up.
DJ's a character in Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yes.
Who was?
I'm going to look him up.
I think he was the second black character that they added. First, obviously, being
You have to
Balrog,
let-
formerly
Yes.
known as M. Bison, but they
Yes.
couldn't legally use the name M. Bison because it was too
Don't
close
look him up.
to
Don't look
Mike
him up. Let Raz
Tyson.
tell you first.
Yes.
Let Raz
So
tell
they
you first.
swapped him and Balrog, who is now M. Bison. So you know the guy with the red hat.
Yeah.
That was actually Balrog.
I want you to tell
Let
me.
Raz.
No, actually,
names.
I'm interested in GB talking about DJ.
Well, I don't know much because DJ was introduced in Alpha,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I believe. All I just remember was just like the character being just very stereotypical.
Yes.
The whole time. And honestly, it kind of came at a time where like those stereotypes were just so commonplace in media. Like when you go back and look at professional wrestling, for example, it was just stereotype on top of stereotype. I mean, look at guys like, you know, Coco Beware, right? Oh my God. Drawing a blank on his name, and I shouldn't be because he's a fucking Kamala.
Oh,
Kamala,
yes, Kamala,
yes. Papa Shango as well, right?
Exactly.
But then you had guys, you know, like Rocky Johnson, for example, you know, father of Dwayne Johnson, and you'd always hear the commentary when he come in. He's a hard-working blue chipper. You'd always hear it. Talk about the black guy. They always say he's the hard. He's got a good head on his shoulders.
Great speaker and everything.
Yeah, good
history.
speaker. He's a good talker. That was always the other one. And you're always like,
yep.
I
All
see
the time.
what you're doing here. I get it, but you're so close. And then and DJ was kind of like just a product of that. I mean, you know, you go back and look at a lot of Japanese artwork from back in the day. Mr. Popo, Dragon Ball Z.
True.
I mean, you know, I don't think it was in an effort to be racist.
He was a brother.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Popo vibe. And Piccolo. Piccolo.
No, Piccolo is an honorary brother.
Piccolo's
We
a
accept
brother.
them too.
Piccolo's
We
a
accept
brother,
them.
I
bro.
think we just know that the Namekians are black. I think that's just what everyone.
If you're from Namek, you black.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everyone has accepted that.
Yeah.
Is that actually the lore?
I mean, no, it's not. It's
They
just
can
that.
say it. They can say it, Flowers.
I don't know, man.
That's why he's so powerful.
In the black community and stuff growing up, watching Dragon Ball, we all just gravitated immediately to characters like Piccolo because, I mean, you know, not to like push out stereotypes or whatever, but I was a boy raised by a single mother. My father not present, right? So to see a guy like Piccolo be like a hard tune, but very like sensitive and understanding to Gohan.
Yeah.
I was like, he may not be your father, but that's your dad.
That's your dad.
GB.
That's your daddy.
GB,
Yep.
that is exactly how I feel about Pedro Pascal right now.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Pedro.
Do not spoil. Do not
Oh my
spoil.
God.
I am only 6 episodes in. I will spear tackle you.
We're not
It's
talking-
okay
spoil
though, because
anything.
you can
No,
also
no.
just go and watch The Mandalorian, baby.
So
That's what my boy
that's
Pedro
it.
Pascal doing it for the Latinos. eh?
So that's it. I'm finally watching Mandalorian. I just finished the first season of it. This is like years and years.
Okay.
Make sure you
back.
watch Book
So
of Boba Fett as
Is
well.
this
Catch the
show
tail
worth
end.
it if you are not a Star Wars junkie?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but it's worth it.
You
People
could
talk
genuinely
about it.
watch The Mandalorian and Andor.
Okay.
And not be a Star Wars fan and genuinely enjoy it.
Okay,
if you
cool.
happen to like anime as well, check out the anthology series that they just released, which is a series of short stories, kind of like Animatrix or the Halo thing, where they had like all these different, like Studio Trigger and these different like big animation studios in Japan tackle Star Wars stories. And one of them actually is spinning out into its own like series and book series of Ronin, and it's really good. So I would highly suggest checking that. I'm a big Star Wars nerd.
It
So
is.
yeah.
Pedro Pascal though.
So what is it about Pedro Pascal that's like getting to you?
Literally daddy. Literally
Yeah.
daddy vibes.
Okay,
Watching
have you
him
seen
take
the
care of-
SNL skit?
Yes.
The fan cam one?
Oh yeah, it's like I just don't understand. Why is everyone just like making all these sparkly edits of me, and then meanwhile I'm on my phone and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
As soon as
So you know about fan cams,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes. You don't know fan cams?
I don't know what this
I'll
shit
pull
is.
it up.
I don't wanna know
You
what
guys.
There has to be a Flowers fan cam.
There has to be a fan.
Like,
I have a
someone
fan
had-
cam. I actually have
You have
fan
a.
cam.
I
don't
really
want this
want.
to exist,
I
whatever
really
it is.
want to have a fan cam. I feel like I would make it when I have a fan cam.
I want a
made of me.
fan cam too.
Yeah, but
Everyone, you heard
Pedro
us.
Pascal
Ian,
basically
do you
did
know
this
what this
skit on
is?
SNL where he was a
Okay,
teacher.
2 out of 5 of us do not know what this shit is.
Okay, wait. Ian doesn't know about fan
Ian,
cams.
Ian knows what it is.
Oh,
Cool. Okay, we got
You know,
2 people who
it's
don't know
like
what it
this-
is.
It's like the.
I got
the
an ally here.
Music video, and then they like take things that you're doing, and then they just like swap it to music, and it like zooms in and out and stuff.
I didn't know.
This
that's
is like what
was
those
called.
Yeah.
K-pop kids do.
Yes.
Yeah. Damn, and I thought I was the
Here.
boomer over here. It's just what these K-pop. Yeah. So this is the one that they made for SNL as a gag, and it's so funny, and the whole skit is him just like questioning why these kids are making these fan cams, but the kids are like have this like Gen Z lingo where it's just like, oh, I just want you to step on me and choke
Zaddy.
me and zaddy and
Spit in my mouth.
You know what? So I had a thing. I
Spit
can't
in
remember if
my
I
mouth.
talked to you about this or not, but if I didn't, you will love this. So back during Worlds, there was a thing where there was an after party that was happening after one of the group stage phases, and I went to it. And while I was there, they had a thing where players and fans, like not LCS players, but just like random people who played League of Legends, could come up and play like 5v5 against each other, and it would be up on the big screen at the after party. It was like a cool thing for League of Legends players to be like, hey, this is a
When was
celebration.
this? Which Worlds?
Last Worlds.
Oh,
So
really?
just this past
They're
year in
still doing
October.
that. That's cool.
And so, but at one point, the spectator client, because the League of Legends client is a piece of shit that
It's
works
not
like
good.
a 2008 mobile game. League
It's
of
not
Legends,
good.
Riot Games. Look, guys, I want to work with you. I want to fucking
'cause isn't
let's
it like a
help each other.
window
Let's
and
make
then it
this
becomes a
client
game?
better. It's not good enough.
Yeah, I don't know
Anyway,
how they do that.
the client is breaking down and the spectator fails, and like it will not load.
It stinks.
And so I walked up and I was like, hey, I have a lot of experience working with the spectator client before. I've had it crash a million different times. I think I can probably help with this. And so I'm working with the tech people, like trying to fix it. Because I use the spectator client, I'm pretty sure, more than anybody else in North America. Like I spectate games a lot.
Yeah, you do.
And so I was working with him. Eventually we got it working after like 30 fucking minutes of fucking with this stupid thing, right? And so later that night, as I'm leaving, like I'm in the Uber going back to my hotel, and I'm looking at my Twitter replies. And one thing that I always do during international events, and y'all can judge me for this, I don't care about it. I know it's definitely judgeable. I name search myself because a lot of people like will not tag me because they don't know my tag, but they'll comment like, oh, I liked Captain Flowers, or oh, fuck Captain Flowers, or whatever, right? And I want to see what the overall opinion on me is, whether or not they know to tag me. And so one of the tweets that I saw was a girl who was one of the people who was part of the staff and who was there when I was working with him to fix it. And she was like, oh my God, we were doing this. We were hosting a thing tonight at this after party, and Captain Flowers came up and just said, hey, I think I might be able to help. And I threw up in my mouth. I didn't know what to do. And initially, I thought I was insulted. I thought that was an insult. I thought she was like, I can't believe.
I threw up in my
she was like, I thought she was like, I can't believe this dickhead would possibly imply that he knows how to do my job better than me. Fuck him. And then so I asked like 4 different people, because I was like, damn, this seems like a rude thing to say on her part. And they were like, no, you're just over 30. Like, throwing up in your mouth is a compliment. I was like,
We out here. Oh shit, it's all down.
I was like, what do you mean throwing up in your mouth is a compliment? They're like, yeah, screaming, crying, throwing up, these sorts of things are a compliment. I'm like,
Yeah, that is
Dying.
the Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
literally it in a nutshell.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
experienced it.
I was confused.
Yes, you experienced it.
I just want him to like tell me I did a good job or something.
There
This
are.
needs to stop.
Have
It
you
has
searched
to.
for the
Yeah.
videos of him?
Hit
like,
the
online?
brakes, blow up the
Did you see the
car.
lie detector
I don't
test
care if
video?
it crashed
Hey,
this goddamn.
We're having a conversation.
Oh,
I know.
What did we talk about?
You were talking about your horny bullshit, which is why I was talking to Raz.
No.
And what have
one
we
conversation
discussed?
at one time.
What's that?
Bang.
Raz, you get a cookie. Raz gets a
Is it a
cookie.
chocolate chip cookie?
oh wait.
Do you like
the
chocolate chip
I
cookies?
don't like chocolate
I will
chip
give
cookies.
you chocolate chip cookies.
I like
Next
that chocolate
time
chip
we
cookie.
will bake chocolate chip cookies just for you.
The Raz snitch era
What are we
continues.
doing right now? What's going on?
I'm a
Yeah.
snitch. That's
well,
what happened.
You're
I
a
was just gonna tell Ovilee. I was just gonna tell Ovilee. Just search up the Pedro Pascal videos on YouTube. He did a lie detector test with Vanity Fair.
I saw that.
Me and Cynthia just watched that today. It was really funny. He actually talks about searching his name because one of the things.
Oh,
that they
doing
said-
name searches?
Yeah, one of the things that was like, "Do you name search yourself online?" And then he was like, "Yes." Like, he just couldn't do it. He couldn't like accept it. But the reason he gave was I forget like the exact wording, but it was essentially him saying like I'm weak, and I was like. I don't know if it necessarily defines weakness, but I could say like I have hard lines and things I just don't do.
Okay.
I never search myself online. I never search myself on Twitter. To be fair, I have reasonings that are not the best, and like not like the best as in like when you hear them, it's definitely going to be a downer. But it was just a lot of racist things were said.
never mind.
Yeah. So like when I first started in Call of Duty, the things that were said about me was just horrendous. And it's part of the reason why I don't work the game anymore. And everyone's all like, oh, Call of Duty's not like that anymore. And I was like, yeah, no, but it's just a thing that happened. So I'm kind of cool just like moving on, you know? And then it almost happened in Halo, but thankfully, like I think enough of the community kind of police itself to the point where that did not become a thing, and that was really nice. There was like a point in time when people were like, "Oh, he's only working Halo for the money and doesn't care about the game, and he's just like he's a fat Mexican, blah blah blah." And I'm just like,
What
"Oh
the
no,
fuck?
I know there's no money to make in Halo. 1, 2, I really enjoy the game. 3, I'm not Mexican." But you were right about the fat part, like.
You are legitimately just objectively wrong.
Yeah. Yes, you were right about me being rotund, but beyond that, there's everything else is just factually incorrect. No. I closed my DMs.
That's a good call.
Yeah. Oh, my DMs have been closed ever since I found out that there was an option to close them, which was around the Call of Duty time. Because you were talking about toxic fan bases and stuff. So this actually happened to me and in Call of Duty, and it really sucked. So it was years ago. Forget the year it was, but basically Nade Shot was on Optic Gaming at the time, and which I can go into many things about that team, but whatever. Point is, they were not particularly great. They were okay team, but they weren't a great team compared to. Kind of, yeah. But the thing is that before that, the team that they had was probably one of the best teams in the game.
Oh.
And they had released Rambo, who was at the time to be considered like the best captain, the best strategist. Like the guy just understood the game at a deep level that very few understood it at. And then they swapped in Nade Shot. I don't know the politics behind that decision or the reasoning behind it. All I know is that's what happened. And it made the team a little bit worse because Rambo just contributed so much to the team for his ingenuity in the server. Well, we were getting ready for COD Champs, and they were doing it at Full Sail University in Florida. So good old Florida.
Yep.
And I had predicted that Optic might not even qualify for COD Champs because they just, in comparison to the rest of the pool, there were better teams than them at the time. So this happened, and oh boy, the death threats that I got, people were telling me, don't show up to the event. If you do, like, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this isn't, soft New York City, which I'm like, how is that? It's like, you're coming to Florida. I'm like, what does that even mean, dude? Like,
I'm gonna stick a crocodile on you,
like
man.
a majority of your population are retired old people. Like,
Oh, and
I'm
bath
confused.
salt users.
Yeah.
So I guess that's hard.
Zombies.
I was just genuinely confused, but like this was happening, know, and then it was just like the amount of shit. Well, lo and behold, like Optic almost didn't qualify. They almost lost to like a team that they shouldn't have lost, and it was Game 5, Round 11, and they just needed to not choke, and they didn't, and they qualified. And then after that, it was just the hate that I got. After that was just. People were DMing me, like messaging me, like, "Oh, I hope you die. How could you? They work so hard. They don't deserve that." And I was like, "Dude, I'm just making a prediction on a sporting event. That's what I'm doing." And I wasn't like wrong, Like many people agreed with me. Just a lot of people were afraid to say it because of exactly the reasons that happened. Meanwhile, here's my dumbass. I'm like, I don't care. What are they gonna do to me? Meh. And then it just so happened, So. They had to like up security at the event and everything because like there were people like genuinely threatening me. It sucked. It really sucked. But that was when I realized Twitter's not a real place.
Yeah.
And it is actually a detriment to society that Twitter
It is
exists.
full of those who are only terminally online.
Yeah. And I am actually one of those people, but like
same.
little by little I've been just weaning myself off of it because it is a dangerous place that you can go down the rabbit hole and it would just and you spiral,
Yeah.
So
it's tough.
Yeah. So that so as I said, it's a little bit of a downer story, but
I will
it's
say,
good to hear, though.
yes, I will say, at least for me, it's usually around internationals when you get closer and closer because predictions do it. You're right. Like for me, let's just say I have a history predicting against European teams. So like there's some legitimate times when I was working the LPL, like RNG went up against Fnatic. I predicted RNG because it seemed like they were they were just the better team. They had the historically one of the best 80 carries.
Stats and
Yeah,
what
exactly.
Analysts.
And then they flopped out, but it did not matter because the European fans, specifically Fnatic fans, were just upset. And so usually around international times when you make predictions like that, or even when you get closer, then they're like, we remember when you made that prediction. I still have open DMs, but because like I think it's funny. But yes,
I think if you don't let it get to you,
Yeah.
then that's fine. I have a spiraling mentality.
What gets to me, so I'll get it. If it's just name calling and racist shit, which I'll either get a few stories. One in DM, there'll be a few in DMs, which is like whatever. There's one that happened. There's a few that happens in public on Twitter, but like a lot of the times I can just like shame them out. There's one person I just looked at his profile picture and it was just a bunch of furry dad cocks, and I just like the moment I screenshotted his profile, and I'm not gonna blast him, quote retweet him. So I'm just gonna hit him in the comments, and whoever sees it sees it. The moment I hit him with just a screenshot of his profile picture, is like, why are you talking, man? He just instantly deleted it, blocked me.
Well, because they never expect a clapback.
Yes, they do
never
not.
expect it because they think like,
Yeah.
oh, he's not going to say this
Yes.
because he's too busy dealing with other things. Or then when you do clap back, they're like, don't you have better things to do? And it's like, I don't know, bitch. Don't you have better things to do? Like, why am I the only one that's being held to this freaking standard?
So like,
Hello?
it's funny as fuck. So I troll a lot. Maybe it works against me sometimes, but like in this case, I don't give a fuck about that. What I do care about, and this happens, there was one time at 2018 pre-show where I said that 100 Thieves were going to lose to Fnatic. Like the question was like, who is going to get out of this specific group? I said Fnatic would get out. And when they pressed me, I was like, because these are boring answers. People wanted something spicier, right? I was like, the only team that can maybe take them out because of the playstyle would be 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves kind of sucked at laning phase and would be able to like, their whole thing was team fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And Fnatic, a lot of the times were a slower team that would win their games in team fighting. I was like, and they were like, oh, and I was like, but Fnatic is just the better team. It did not matter that I said this. Everybody on Reddit was, at least the Fnatic fans, was like, did this motherfucker just say 100 Thieves are gonna beat Fnatic? I was like, that's not what happened. I didn't. And so like, I'm the type of person I was like, let fans talk, let fans be fans, say whatever the hell they want. I'm not gonna just drop and be like, wrong. Well, that's not me. But then after a year, I was like, wait, this is just a narrative. People actually think this
Like,
is
this is
happening.
actually wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, this is literally happening. So that was my pet peeve, is like people that hate you, which is fine. You can believe whatever the hell you want, but they will concoct random reasonings that are just not based on reality. So then when I just like clip out, I was like, is this what you're referring to? Like just to engage in the conversation, they scatter. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
they scurry like roaches in
they're
the room.
gone. I was like, I'm just trying to talk. What's going on? You don't have to run.
Yeah.
That's literally the reason why. So I actually looked at Twitter the other day, like a week ago, and I realized I had not tweeted in like a month because I just like, for what it's worth, I hate social media. I had no social media before I became a public figure. And once I decided to leave the public sphere, I won't have it anymore. Like, I just don't fucking like it.
This man doesn't even have Instagram.
No, fuck Instagram. Suck my dick, Zuckerberg. But what I'm saying is, like, I was looking at this shit, and then I saw all this random stuff. It was after we had you on a guest for the LCS, for the TriCast. And so going into the TriCast for LCS, I had told our producers, because they were like, hey, we want to do a you, Ovilee, and Raz TriCast, because obviously you guys...
Was the TriCast your idea?
No.
Was the TriCast your idea?
No.
The TriCast wasn't my idea.
It was theirs.
Yes.
So let's continue.
Go ahead.
They bring it up to me and they're like, yeah, we want to do this. We want to do it on this game. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you right now, here are my rules. Number one, this is not a TriCast in what everyone understands as an esports cast. And don't be insulted when I say this next part. I told them, Ovilee is not a caster. I was like, she does not have the mechanics to do play-by-play. She does not have the game knowledge to do color. If you expect her to be a real caster, you are going to get fucked.
I'm so good at League of Legends.
Yes.
That's the name of the game.
So I was like, hey, it's going to be a podcast feel. It's going to be a stream feel.
Yeah.
And so they were even talking a little bit about, and you and I had the same conversation about what game it should be. And I was like, it has to be a non-important game. It has to be like mid to low tier teams.
Yeah.
Because that's when you brought up, you were like, oh, I think maybe what if we try to do it during the FlyQuest game? And I told you, I was like, FlyQuest game is the most important game of the week.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it during the
That's not
FlyQuest.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. And,
Right.
and for clarification, the only reason why I said what if the FlyQuest game
Right,
is
she
because
didn't
I'm
know
a
that.
part of FlyQuest.
Right, yeah. Ovilee wasn't like, oh, I want to be on this game because it's the
No,
most
no, no.
important. She was like, oh, that's my team,
I'm
right?
just spitballing ideas.
Right, yeah. So we got to the point, we went out, we did this thing, and then afterwards, the feedback is mixed, as I expect, because when you bring a streaming or podcasting type of feel into a traditional esports formal broadcast, the purists. That's the word I'm like. The
Yeah.
purists are always going to be mad because all they want is he took the chickens at 6:07 instead of 6:06. Oh my God, he fucked up his entire path. Like that's what they want to hear. And so but as I read more and more of this neckbeard shit,
just sounded like words to me.
yeah, I know. No. As I read more of this shit, I started seeing Reddit comments where people are like, and you could tell Captain Flowers is just so mad that Ovilee's ruining the cast. They were like, I can't believe that 2 actual broadcasters are being trolled by this fucking stupid girl. And I'm like,
I got a tweet that was like, Raz's cast is being ruined by this woman. I was like, whoa!
So that's why I tweeted. And the reason I bring this up is because like Ovilee messaged me after this. Because I tweeted, I was like, okay, clearing up 2 things. 1, I fully agree to this, and I have as much executive like privilege as anybody in terms of saying that we should have done this. 2, Ovilee and I are not enemies. This is our banter.
I like that being the reality.
This is how we interact.
People think that. I think that's cool.
And then I'm
Keep
just
riding
like,
that narrative. Make money.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? But it was so bizarre that like if you give people 24 hours to just make shit up, they will contrive the most fanciful Jack and the Beanstalk horse shit you ever heard in your life based on nothing.
So, I mean, there's a couple different things going on here.
Here we go.
Because there were some comments that were fuck Ovilee and also fuck LeTigress. And also fuck Emily Rand.
Make sure we get collateral damage.
And also...
We're mag dumping on the women?
But Shocks is okay.
Okay,
And that's how they say I'm not a misogynist.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, I'm not a misogynist because
Well,
I
it's like the
like...
classic, I'm not a racist because I have a black friend.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know
Why
what I
do you
mean?
think I started this podcast?
Yeah, so you can hang out with your 2 black friends.
No one can ever call me racist.
It's a
Take
handshake
that, Modern
because I
Warfare
can say
lobbies.
that I'm now not sexist, so thank you very
Yeah,
much.
it works out for me.
What am I doing?
You're our minority.
Yeah.
Ohio
He's
resident.
our pocket minority.
Yeah, that's true. Ohio pocket minority.
Pocket minority.
Captain Flower.
Yeah, you're the diversity hire.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm the token white dude.
We have to find a way
Token white dude, you are, my friend. Let me tell you.
to reach the straight white men. We need to reach that demographic, and that's why we have flowers.
Yes, and I think for optics, you need to come out there singing and dancing, white teeth. Maybe if you can, your face a little whiter.
Start singing country.
I was gonna say though, at least, you know, it's gonna sound so mean to say, but at least people pay attention to like your guys' broadcast. Like for us, it's not like that. Like everyone's too busy watching co-streams. They're watching Tarek or Sliggy or someone else. I measure my success based on how little people talk about what I do. It's a great feeling.
I do want to talk about the TriCast really quick, but co-streams are something that I find incredibly interesting too. But yeah, so there's some people who are like, "Oh, that was good," or there were some people who are like, "Oh, that was a little weird."
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. It was a little weird, but like maybe not every single week, which yeah, of course.
Totally fine.
And then there were some people who were just like, this broadcast is not supposed to be funny. We need to be talking about only the analytical content. And Ovilee drawing FlyQuest with a heart in the bottom corner where there's absolutely no information, nothing. I'm blocking nothing. I'm just writing FlyQuest with a little heart in the corner, and it's all of a sudden it's like Ovilee was being incredibly disruptive and disrespectful to every single player and every single team. Meanwhile, they don't know. I'm getting messages from like Steve on the side going like, this is fucking hilarious. And like a bunch of people on the Team Liquid side and a lot of people just backstage, or everyone's like, I fucking love this. And I'm like, great. It's not going to happen every single week because there was a point where even I'm going like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to say right now. I'm just going to read and interact with Twitch chat, which I thought people enjoyed because I was just like, Twitch chat says let her cook. And then all of a sudden all of Twitch chat is Keck W's or let her cook, let her cook, let her cook, or Flowers is bullying Ovilee, or like call Flowers' mom. All of these really fun moments that you wouldn't find from a normal Flowers stream or a normal cast, I should say rather. But there were some people who were like, she wasn't even paying attention. She was reading Twitch chat on her phone the whole time. She didn't know when the buff was taken. And I'm like, dude,
She's not a caster.
I'm not a caster, but also let's get deep for a second.
Here we go.
Let's get deep for a second.
We're getting deep.
Deep.
If you are an League of Legends purist or something, and a North American fan, an LCS fan, I am so sorry, but you are a dying breed. You are doing nothing to actually help the LCS scene. I'm not saying LCK, LPL, or LEC. I'm saying the LCS scene. Because this is just not I'm going to compete with the top teams of the LCK or the LPL region. It's just not. I'm
Correct.
so sorry to break this to you. I'm
I'm still a believer.
My heart breaks.
The LCS scene has always been one of personality, shoulder content, and fun. It's
And
supposed to
entertainment.
be entertainment. Exactly. It's supposed to be an entertainment league. If you are trying to force analysis down the throats of everyone, like having a 20-minute long post-game analyst desk at the end of every single game, regardless of if it's a throwaway game with no playoff implications or no standing implications or like the best play ever, like it gets boring fast. So a lot of the stuff that analyst crew has been doing, I know it's not the desk anymore, the analyst crew has been
It's
doing
called the lounge.
Okay,
Yeah.
the lounge.
Yeah, we do have. We
keep
take it
fucking it
personally.
up.
Yeah, we've been
sorry.
attacking him regularly.
The
Yeah,
analyst
I've been
lounge.
fucking it up.
They're doing innovating stuff, very innovative stuff. And sure, you're gonna have some hits, you're gonna have some misses, but that's fine because you guys are trying and you're doing a lot of cool stuff. Yeah. And I think that's personally what's going to help get new audience members in, compared to, well, if you think about back in 2009 when Garen was first created, this was the build. Like, no one fucking cares anymore. Flowers, go ahead.
My joke is entirely lost. I'm just gonna say it anyway. But I was gonna say that when you made a comment about a 20-minute post game, I was like, that's longer than a Dignitas game. So you can't do 20.
Kick them while they're down.
Yeah. Get him.
Yep.
Get him.
Look, I got boys on Dignitas. Like, I want them to do well,
Same.
but like, there's always gonna be a couple of teams in the league that are just not doing good. And
For
right
the
now,
uneducated, and I want to talk about the co-stream stuff, and also I want to dive into that real fast, but just a quick top level. Why does NA kind of sort of suck?
so
It happens.
So if you want me to actually be real and level about it for a second, so here's the state of the four global leagues the four major global leagues in League of Legends.
Yeah.
You have the LCK in Korea. Yep. Korea is the mecca of esports. Remember that like the first origination point of
like
competitive
Samsung,
esports is
White,
StarCraft.
right?
And so like there's so much culture, there's so much history, there's so much like dedication to esports and
T1,
competitive
Faker,
gaming in general. Like Korea will always be a titan. The LPL, the fucking League of Legends competitive circuit, is like the NBA out there, man.
Yeah.
They have red carpet galas where players show up in $10,000 suits and everything else.
No way, really?
I am serious.
pretty
This
crazy.
How do you
is
watch this? That sounds
this
cool.
is Apex Entertainment in China. It is a huge national thing. They have like promising young teenagers who get scouted off of the ladder, like go to like boot camps and stuff, like working with teams to the point where they can be officially recruited, and they work together.
So they have systems and
Yeah, they have systems in place. LEC is a region that had traditionally sucked as much ass as we do, but then recently, like G2 was actually a big driver of them becoming more of a global competitor, because 2019 G2, most people consider that to be the best Western League of Legends team of all time. 2019 G2 was the one that eventually would make it to World Finals. Yes, they would get 3-0 the same way that 2018 Fnatic
They
would
lost
be.
to T1.
They lost to FPX.
FPX,
FPX.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
FPX
all right.
3-0 2019 G2 and IG
Which is
3-0
the one that Fnatic
2018
won.
Fnatic.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Fnatic hasn't won one yet. Or
They haven't
Fnatic's
won.
gonna
Fnatic
Season
won
one,
season
technically.
1, which is called the season 1 championship. It was not Worlds because
Oh, that
China.
was ages ago, though.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
that was like
But
2013.
Fnatic did play in a final.
Yeah.
recently.
In 2018.
2018
And they
finals,
also got
yes.
3-0'd by IG, a Chinese team.
Actually, it just got a whole search. Thanks to
So the two recent times that EU made it to the grand finals, they got 3-0'd, but they made it to the grand finals, and that's a very impressive
that's an
achievement.
achievement in and of itself. It's like
And
World
then-
Cup. It's like qualifying.
Yes.
you know,
Exactly. It's
for
incredibly impressive.
Playoff play. Yeah.
But for North America, like the way that I've worded it to people about this is the following. If you're a young league player in Korea and you're looking at who you want to be and what you want to be, if you're incredibly, like, let's say you're so incredibly talented, you're 13 years old, you're in Challenger, you're like, the world's my oyster. You want to be Faker. You want to be the greatest player to ever live. If you're that same player in China, you want to be Uzi. You want to be the greatest 80 carry player of all time. Your team revolves around you. Everybody just talks about how it's incredible. You've never won an international championship. You are God. If you're in EU, you want to be Caps. You want to be this guy who defines Western League of Legends and everybody rallies around you. And if you're in North America, you want to be Tyler 1. You want to scream your fucking face off at the fucking camera and have everybody give you twice as much money as any of these other guys had.
Yep.
Because North America is an entertainment and streamer region. And I'm not knocking Tyler. If anybody thinks I'm knocking Tyler, fuck you. Tyler has defined what it means to be successful in League of Legends in North America. We are a streamer region. We are a content region. Like you were saying, Ovilee, we're an entertainment region. We don't have the infrastructure or the culture to be a globally competitive region in League of Legends.
And specifically, when it comes to infrastructure, internet infrastructure is really important. So like in China and in Korea, you have PC bang. So if you don't have access to games at home, or if you're just in a poor family like I was, we don't really have the money to buy a PC at home. That shit costs a lot, right? Especially to maintain. Why not just get a console? That shit will last you a lifetime. Or the previous generation console, because they're still making games for those.
Yep.
That's how we grew up with. But in Korea and in China, a lot of times you have access to PC bang. Same with Vietnam, actually. So you can always just go to a place nearby your school or house.
Relatively cheap.
Very
Yeah.
cheap,
Just
yeah.
play, yeah.
Extremely
Couple bucks,
cheap. Extremely cheap. And so the access to playing those games is huge, whereas in North America, obviously a much larger country, very divided up, already has a really shitty internet infrastructure already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's already a problem. So like all those come into fruition. And on top of that, player base. Our player base is really small in comparison to all of those regions we had mentioned.
Correct.
China has about 24 servers for
Holy
league.
crap.
It's a lot.
Ionian server is their main one. And even then, if you are the top of the top, if you're D2 plus, Diamond 2 plus, you can go on the super server. There's a server that is basically linking all of these 20 or something servers together for the best players. And if you're done with all that and you don't even want to play that, you have access to the
So
Korean
you're
server.
just constantly surrounded by high quality talent.
Yes.
No matter
Better
where you go.
practice, better players, better competition.
So that
Yeah.
one is the biggest takeaway, is the player base that is always going to overshadow us.
Basically what you're saying is it's an unfixable problem.
To a degree, I do think that access to the game is always going to be an issue when it comes to computer games in North America.
Yep.
Like if we want computer games in general to compete versus console games, we need to make it so this is always going to be a core problem. So like having like PC bang / internet cafes, having decent U.S. internet infrastructure. I know that fiber's making a move, though it's slow as hell to make a move around that.
Yeah.
I think that changes a lot.
That's interesting, being from the other side of the conversation, because from my perspective, it feels like consoles are very much a dying breed. Mostly because of Xbox Game Pass and
True.
like when you go out there and you look at like PlayStation sales and stuff, like they're good.
Yeah.
But really, it's not the behemoth that it once was.
Yeah.
It does feel like, especially having touched like Fortnite and Call of Duty and now Valorant and seeing how much of an emphasis things are being put on getting PCs. Like a few of my cousin's kids back home, they were playing Fortnite on their PlayStation 4s, and then they were like, this sucks. I'm watching Ninja play and his game looks so smooth. I want to have my game be smooth. So
Yeah.
then they end up getting PCs, but they're connecting controllers to the PCs.
Oh yeah.
But they're still getting PCs. So I think it's interesting. You're definitely onto something as far as like, I think there's a lot of structural issues. I also think that from the outside looking in, it feels like there is a lack of discipline is
Yeah.
what it
Yeah,
feels
that
like
too.
the bigger
That's the
issue is,
cultural
because
difference.
when
That's
you
the cultural
see-
big one, yeah.
when you see guys like Tyler 1 pop off,
Yep.
right? And or like, what was the other one that was it Cutie Pie, right? He was a player, right?
Yeah.
And then I think he just realized like, I could just make way more money doing the streaming thing.
Yeah.
So he just went and streamed. I think that there's also a little bit of that going on as well. And again, I'm not a league person, so I don't know diddly squat about how things work with a lot of these teams. But when you tell me that there's like a super server and these players are just constantly being exposed to high quality talent all the time,
Yeah.
and there's naturally going to be an increase.
Discipline is a big one. I know whenever it comes to Korean and Chinese teams, a lot of it is at least naturally when you join a team, there is a social and age hierarchy that you listen to your coaches. Your coaches, even if they're dumb as hell, even if they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, there is like an issue. There is an expectation
You
of
listen
respect.
to your coaches because they'll get fired.
There you go. Exactly. There's the respect that you instantly give them, and you follow what they want. And so like I can understand like there's a level of that, which I mean, just in North America we don't have. To be fair, at least in Europe they don't have that, but at least they have the infrastructure that you had talked about that exists.
Okay, GB, so I know you're flying all over the world right now, but I also saw that you made a tweet that maybe you one day would want to make a podcast.
Oh, boy.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
What are you doing? What
are we calling it?
No. So I have a problem. My brain is just a constant swirling sea of just thoughts, and it's moving at a mile a minute all the time. But it really happened after the Guard situation occurred, where for those who don't know, the Guard is a team that was owned by the Kroenke Corporation. They own SoFi Stadium here in LA. They own the LA Rams. Yeah, the LA Rams. They also own the Los Angeles Gladiators from the Overwatch League and the Los Angeles Gorillas from Call of Duty League. And they had their own esports team, of a phenomenal team, by the way. The Guard, they didn't make franchising, and now I know why they didn't make franchising or partnerships, rather, for Valorant. But they still have a team competing, phenomenal team, currently top of challengers right now. And I saw this, and they just fired like 70% of their staff, just like nothing. People who worked so hard, who pushed the brand, who actually made the Guard a corporate-owned brand relevant and made it feel like it was a team of the people. And they did such a great job with it. And then, rich guy decides he wants to pull the cord. Sounds familiar. And that was, the end of it, And I'll never be not mad about that.
No.
So, because I was supposed to sign my contract that day. So anyway, so I saw that and I was like, one of the biggest problems we have in esports right now is people just don't understand how the fuck it works.
Yeah.
And I've been in the industry now for like, I would say around 10 plus years old. And I still, for even me, there are a lot of aspects that I don't understand. So I really wanted to try and like bring it to light and actually reach out to a few owners. And one of them got back to me, the owner of Space Station Gaming. He's a good dude. I've known him for a while, and he's been operating this team for a minute. So I wanted to like do like a business of esports, but I also understand that that's like not sexy or attractive or anything. So then other people were saying like, oh, well, maybe you just kind of do more of the new Howard Stern approach of just like good interviews, not, old Howard Stern, but that's just not me. But, like he's probably one of the best interviewers that's out there, right? Like I think many people will agree on that. So I wanted to try and like maybe go that route, but I really did want to tell stories in esports or just get people to understand the industry in all aspects of the industry, not just teams, but like how does this thing make money or how does it not make money?
Yeah.
And then the ESL Vindex merger happened, which is really not great.
Oh my God. Wait, I totally forgot about that. That's
a big deal.
so fucked. It's
That's a
actually
huge
fucked.
deal.
I have
Okay.
no idea what
Okay,
Yeah, I have no
explain
idea
it
what's
to them. They have no
happening.
idea.
Okay,
I forgot about that
so
completely.
Clueless.
ESL.
Yes.
ESL was bought by the Savvy Group or the Savvy Corporation, which is a Saudi Arabian owned business wing of MBS, Mohammed bin Salam. I don't want to say his name wrong. So MBS owns this company. It is a Saudi Arabian government funded thing. They bought ESL. Then out of nowhere, just last week, they announced that they were acquiring Vindex, who is the company that owned NGE, Esports Engine, all white label production companies. Esports Engine's current projects are the Call of Duty League, the Apex Global Series, as well as
A lot of stuff with Twitch.
HCS, and they also did Twitch Rivals, and so like they are a big player, like a big production player. Yeah, so it's now monopolizing white label production companies, but there are other production companies that are doing it and doing it relatively well, but they're obviously smaller.
Yeah.
They don't have the reach. So now, like ESL and XMLG, because that's really what it is, ESL and MLG have essentially merged their powers, but under the umbrella of Saudi Arabian money, and it's not good.
Yeah.
But now it's like, if I want to start this podcast, like, I don't know, I'm going down a rabbit hole that I don't know if I necessarily want to go down, because it could be unsafe, you know, for me. It's like, I don't know if I want to do this.
They're gonna saw you with a bone saw?
I don't know, man.
They're gonna
Like,
track you
bro,
down.
I'm just trying to live my life, you know, take care of my wife and dog. That's all I'm trying to do, you know, and find fun projects. But
You can say whatever you want. There are just consequences to it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like also tough too, because, you know, you want to say like, this is a problem, which I had said, and then out of nowhere, I'm getting messaged by a lot of people. I won't name names, and people are like, "It's perfectly fine. It's going to be okay." And I'm like, "No, like, am I missing something here? Like, this doesn't seem right. Like, everything's being monopolized under one umbrella does not seem like a good thing." And obviously, like, it's too small of a deal for the government to get involved in. But yeah, it's not good. And also, like, you know, the rates for talent and also like rates for crew members and everything is already pathetically low.
Yes.
They're already lowballing, or in some instances, I've heard instances of people just flat out undercutting to just get gigs, but undercutting to an obscene amount.
Yeah.
Talent working weekend shows, making $200, $300, working 12, 13, 14-hour days, you know, and it's bad.
Yeah.
It's not good. So, you know, there's a lot that I wanted to talk about, but now I'm like, I don't know if I want to get involved. But that's kind of like where my head's at right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it's something I do want to do.
Yeah.
I would listen to that goddamn podcast. I'll tell you right now. If
Yeah.
you end up getting that started, I am listening to it. Though I will not guarantee that there may or may not be a Saudi assassin coming
I'm
for
just
you.
saying. Or maybe I just stay far away from that. You know, maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah,
Stay away
I
from
don't know, but
stay away
it's
from
tough.
the assassins.
And it's tough too, because it's like you also never want, you know, to just like flat out like label something and just be like, oh yeah, this is bad, or oh yeah, this is good. Obviously there's always going to be gray. There's always going to be, you know, like the weird middle ground on situations and stories. But we also live in a time where all this shit is so polarizing, where the moment you say something, you could say like, oh man, it's my favorite one. It's, oh yeah, I really like pancakes. That must mean you hate waffles. And because you hate waffles, you're the devil. And that means you need to die. And it's like, bitch, no, I just like pancakes, bro.
Yeah.
Waffles is good.
Yeah.
I'll just eat a pancake first.
I mean, people have talked about it a lot. That's just how right now social media is.
Yeah.
Especially Reddit, where being outraged on anything, literally anything, just assuming the worst out of somebody that makes a statement will get you the attention that you require.
Yeah.
So then that pushes you to the top. People will respond to you. And that's always what sucks. This is why if you go into my replies in Twitter, beware. I do get in conversations. Sometimes when someone says some stupid shit, I will challenge them.
Idiots.
Yes,
like,
I do.
It's like your hobby.
But yes, that is my hobby.
So what he's saying,
I know what I'm doing when I get back home tonight.
Sleeping on his chair.
Yes.
So get into Rez's Twitter replies and everything. GB, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Where can we see what you're doing next, and how can we follow and support you?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ovilee. It's always a pleasure.
No, not me. Them.
Well,
I don't want to support you.
But it's always. But yeah. Okay. Well, that's the moment of kindness past.
Yeah, don't let her have that.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah, I will be doing the VCT Americas League. So you catch that. I believe. What are the days? You guys know it better than I do.
You're Saturdays and Sundays, and we're
and Mondays
Thursdays
and Mondays.
and Fridays.
We're
Oh,
Saturdays,
yeah.
Sundays, and Mondays.
Well,
I
at least you
think.
get the Mondays.
Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah. So,
Good luck with
yeah,
the viewership on the
I'll be doing
Mondays.
that. And then, you know, I'm getting back into doing some more streaming. It's gonna be nice to be home for a good period of time. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit more streaming. And everything's just GoldenBoy FTW wherever you social media.
Hell yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look at our Patreon, please. Look at our
See you next
Patreon.
time.
Buy
please.
Patreon
Please.
stuff.
Please look at
He'll
the
twerk
Patreon.
for $10.
Please.
Shaking my
$10
ass
here,
in
baby.
anticipation.
$10 twerk.
Patreon.
$10
Ass
twerk.
shaking in
Patreon,
time.
please.
And
That's throwing it.
there it is.